are females who are not able to go to schools because they have to take the responsibility of going and fetching the water for the family, both for drinking, for other daily uses. And yes, the men, they also have to travel with them so that they can carry the extra water, and they can also make sure that they are safe. Of course, flood is another disaster of the climate change, and there are a lot of important things that are happening. And I do see that Tanzania is a country which mainly their GDP is like 17% of GDP is contributed by the tourism. So when there is a global calamity there, it affects the people livelihood also, because most of the people are connected with tourism. So I deeply understand this. And since you are working directly with the community which is deeply affected by this climate change, and you're very young also, what have these experiences taught you about the strength and wisdom within vulnerable populations that the world often overlooks? Because now you are working directly with the community.
Thank you so much for that question. And yes, at first, when you reach in a village, you see the way they are experiencing those effects, from the deforestation to the droughts and the floods. And when you sit with them and get to experience the effects that they're also facing, you realize that these people are very resilient. They may have limited resources, they may have traditional knowledge, but these people have solidarity that is keeping them grounded to make sure that they are willing and they are able to adapt to the effects of climate change. And yes, it's true that most of the times, not only the global leaders, but even us who are not living in the villages, we most of the times overlook the people who are living in the vulnerable communities. But we need to understand that these people are also climate leaders. And if in 2025 they are still living in villages that are not very much developed, so we can see that they must have traditional knowledge and skills that have been given them the ability and the opportunity to cope with the effects of climate change and to adapt to the effects of climate change throughout all this time that they've been living in their villages. And we need to understand that they are also leaders. They're leaders, and they have rights, and they should also be given the opportunity to speak. And one thing that I would like to say is that we do not need to speak for them. They also have a voice, and their voice is very powerful. But what we can do is to amplify their voices and to represent their stories and to represent their faces and to show the world what is actually happening, and how are they taking this into their daily lives and how they are being able to move throughout.
I agree with you.